Good evening, Jose Manuel Garcia Torres. Thank you for joining to me for this interview.
Good evening, Mohamed Yilmaz. Thank you for calling me.
I know you very well, but maybe you want to introduce yourself.
I'm Jose Manuel Garcia Torres. I came from Granada. Last 11 years I'm living in Istanbul. I'm an architect. I'm teaching or trying to teach also in Judith Technic University. And also we have other projects like Depo Pergamon or many other things.
Actually, I'm here for the Depo Pergamon project. I was part in Depo Pergamon in last summer. I enjoyed very well and I have learned a lot of things. So firstly, I want to ask why place was Bergamo, because I have been there. The place is wonderful, the town is wonderful, history is wonderful, but why do you choose the Bergamo for this project?
Amazing place, full of culture, history, nature. There is something, some kind of energy there. Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, Ottomans, Turkish Republic. Still is a very, very nice place. And in some way, maybe because of the connection with other cities, it's not really close to Izmir, not close to Istanbul. It's get a little bit apart from the typical touristic routes. So in some way, it's still virgin. And there are a lot of things to do, many things to do. But it still can be done. It's not too late yet. So, I saw that there was a lot of potential there. So, I don't know, maybe a little bit the destiny pushed me there. Well, I hope it was a good choice.
Yeah, I think it was a good choice. There are many workshops which students can participate in a workshop, but this wasn't just them participate, because people are design something there and also make them concrete things, make them real
not
works.
Not concrete.
Not kind of concrete, just not abstract. They are not in just paper. They also design and build that. So what was...
Sorry, I interrupt you, but not only design and construction, but also organization. It was a non-organization. So the ideas of the students were always discussed there. We try to take common decisions. So as you say, maybe it's what thinking about design, execution of this design, but also the take of the decisions about design and about the construction. That at the end is one of the most important things in the architect
It was your main opinion, because you can do it with your professional equip or professional workers, but you just choose students, so they will be like chaos, but you can organize it with students and you build it with students.
Well, I like to do difficult things. In Turkish you say it's like take your hair with this hand. So it seems like a stupid thing, but where you are taking the hair with this hand, you can draw with the other one or drive in a car.
Oh.
So sometimes it's not that stupid. Of course, it's not only that. A friend of us buy the building, because if not, the building will be sold to become depot of furniture or a more commercial use. And a building like that deserves maybe a better use. Not better, but a more co-involved use. Something not only staff stay there waiting, but people can get involved, interact with each other. But this friend have money for buying it, but not enough for make all the restoration. And also at the same time, many students were asking about internship. Where can we do the internship? Can you find an office? And there are too many architect students. There are not that many architectural offices. So maybe combining both of them. And not only that, also because I like this kind of mixture, makes things different. We try it and in some way it start.
I have one wondering about, did you try any kind of organization like this before?
Of course we tried before. When I still was in Granada, my hometown, we construct a little house, 60 square meters, with all my friends, all the students, architectural students. We tried there everything, materials, design. And in some way it was not a construction site, but was some kind of party, exchange. Every Saturday and Sunday for 1 year and a half. We went there from the foundations to the roof, also with sometimes professional workers, sometimes not professional workers, but friends from other place. And it was also enjoyable. Of course, the final product was not very quality. It's not something that I can show in my portfolio like a architect, but maybe it's something I can show in my portfolio like an organizer. Many people, we make some kind of building cooperative. So in some way this experience I get before coming to Istanbul. After coming here, I couldn't go on with them for a long time, and I miss that. And also I see the potential Istanbul with my friends, from Granada, from Italy, from France, from other places that also were curious about here. Also my students were very curious about everything. I trust a lot them also. So we say, okay, let's try again.
So you have mentioned about your teammates. They came here and help you. They participate with you and they create also Depo Pergamon organization. I am wondering how organize this Depo Pergamon workshop with your teammates. What are their roles and what is the hierarchy between you?
Well, there was not a hierarchy at all. So in some way the idea came out. There was Betul was working with us those days. She made all the drawings, helped a lot with organization. There were some friends and assistants from university who want to came, who don't want to came. These friends, you say, from Granada, Murcia, that help us with the graphic design, the website. The owner of the depot that came for make food for everyone. Many people that was not in the beginning in the organization, but then get involved also. And the students also. We were not enough people to manage this big organization, but I trust the students and really they make a very good work.
Did you achieve your opinion? Did you achieve your goals?
In some way, everything was based on improvisation. So of course we had some goals. Okay, let's finish the roof, let's finish this and this. But because of this improvisation, we couldn't get some of the targets. But we want other things. Now when I see from the distance, I think they were the same important or maybe more important. Like this, you remember we make very, very long meetings to take decisions. Normally it was supposed to be half an hour meeting. Sometimes it was 3 hours, 4 hours.
2 days.
2 days, but I think it was also important because as you know, architects have to do a lot of politics.
Yes.
And when I'm talking about politics, it's not parties or things like that. No, it's only talking with different people, trying to combine different ideas, different needs, needs from the client, needs from the municipality, needs from the constructor. And we have to learn to listen everyone and try to find the site, also have a decision that make everyone happy. Well, it was one of the things I think we achieved there. And I never thought that it should be so important or it was one of the main targets. No, never. I never thought about that, but now I think it was one of the most important things. Other things, we make conference, we make food, experimental food from the Mediterranean Sea with the students also. We make workshops, we draw, we make many things, many functions that when we finish the restoration, after 1 year or after 10 years, who knows, we already know what will happen there. I think this was also something that I realized later. Normally when we go to a competition, or maybe not, maybe just municipality, government, or someone make restoration of a historical building, but when restoration is finished, they ask, well, and now what we do inside? For what? Of course, they found something. Always they found something. Most of the time they found good things also. It's not a critic, but we're making different process. So let's first create the functions and then let's make the building. So when the building is finished, let's see how the functions came and put inside. I think it was also a good achievement. So as I told you, we have some goals in the beginning and then there were other goals, but I think they were also so interesting and important.
Yes. So what are you thinking about the future of Depo Pergamon? Will be there any Depo Pergamon?
Well, I hope so. Now we are working on it, as always, improvising how we do it. But yes, I think we are going to do that. There is still a lot of work to do there. Maybe not that big like last year. And we managed to do that, but maybe in a smaller scale, maybe preparing better things to do. what we want to do, how we want to do. Last year we tried the very crowded one. Now we will gonna try the not too much crowded one, and then we will, maybe the other year we will try to make something more balanced.
I know that students go there and just don't work. They were also in organizing team, also in food team, also collecting donations. I think that will be help for you. But in this summer, do you want to do this like that, or do you want to change the process? It was so complicated maybe, but what is your opinion? Because there will be problems about that.
Well, I think the system was not bad. We need communication, we need talk with the neighborhoods, public relations, we need construction, we need office. Maybe the system can be so similar, but as I told you, maybe in smaller groups, small time. Last year it was 2 months. Students came from 1 month and then go and then another ones. But the main team, we stayed there 2 months. And it was a little bit like an abduction from the real life to put there and then come back. So maybe this year can be like 15 days in the starting of the summer and 15 days at the end of the summer. Last week of July, we want to make an exhibition inside the depot about what we have done last year. It was amazing, very nice last year, but we got a little bit tired. It's not a problem to be that tired, but we were always trying to solve problems or making things. It did not allow us to think better, to make a better strategy, we were always in action. So maybe this time we can start with an action, then have a break, think about it and make another action. So maybe we can learn for the next year how can be better. Maybe next year we try another thing. We are also students, we are also learning. Let's see how it develops.
I also wondering about something. I know Bergama is a small town and I know some small town in Turkey. So there were students from Spain, there were students from all around Europe and some kind of other countries, and like 100 students you say. And what the local people are thinking? What are their actions?
Okay, as you remember, last year maybe we couldn't make it like we wanted, really. Because normally, you know, in Bergama there is the Kermes, Bergama Festival. It's in the beginning of June. But last year, because of the elections, they changed the date to the starting of September. So we couldn't use this event to show ourselves, to explain our projects, and we make at the end of the event. There were good relations, mainly good relations. Some people always asking, who the building, who belongs to, who is the owner of the building, who is getting profit of it. The building was there 5 years waiting for someone. So we couldn't explain the project in the beginning. We make it at the end. But of course, apart from that, the neighbors of the depot by itself, neighbors of the hotel, way between hotel and depot, they always saw us. And I think they were happy because shops sell much more drinks, restaurants were full. There was always someone of us everywhere. Everyone knows in the historical center of Bergama. But Bergama is not only that, it's much bigger. Maybe we couldn't get a bigger impact in all around the city. But I don't know, I guess now this year with social media and after the festival, before this year we can open ourselves much more to the whole city, not only the historical center.
So talking about neighborhoods, you don't have a lot of money and I think you are not taking money from government. Also neighborhoods could help you, did they could or?
Okay, in the beginning we organized it by ourselves because maybe it was the only way to make an independent activity without having to give explanations to anyone. And maybe because of the activity, if we apply for some help from some institutions or things like that, maybe we could get some money, but we didn't ask for money to anyone. We only wanted materials or help. It was funny, we get a lot of contributions about food. Many people send us food, but we couldn't get materials. Now for this year we applied to Ministry of Culture funds for restoration. We get a little help. The building is a private building, belongs to a person. It's not that fair to ask money for the restoration, but I hope when it's finished and the building is ready, the owners give permission for free to use for whatever. Now we are an official association. Maybe we can get funds back for making it alive. To have people working there or studying there, investigating there. It will be a more fair thing. We have a building that someone let us for using it, and it can be the headquarters of a bigger movement. Food, about social or culture, everything. We don't know exactly where we want to do. Okay, we know more or less, but we are open to everything.
I know you want to design another workshop for this year, but I have been told about your future plans. What is your future plans about also Depo Pergamon, also for Pergamon, town of Pergamon, because it is so historical place. There are a lot of buildings like that, and you can do for a lot of building in that region. So, what is your future plans about Depo Pergamon?
When I think about the building, I wish it's a space full of people producing. I don't know what, but I would like something, a place that is always drawing, producing, composing, experimenting, talking, discussing. When I close my eyes, I always imagine it full of people, full of students, full of citizens, full of neighborhoods. Then when I think about Bergamo or about the historical center of Bergamo, there is a lot of people with not many incomes that they cannot restore or take care of their own house. I see a city that is full of cars crossing the middle of the streets and making noise and going fast. So I imagine a pedestrian historical center in Bergamo with much more trees, with much more shadow. And I'm sure it will be like this. I don't know if it will be in 2 years or in 20, 15 years.
For the last words, thanks for everything. If there is anything you want to add or you want to say.
No, thank you for your interest. Thank you for your participation last year. You really worked really hard, not only in construction but also in the organization. I hope this year you can also help us, at least some days. Architecture is not only the office trying to make big buildings. I saw yesterday was the Daniel Liveskin conference. Of course, we need Liveskin, but we need one Daniel Liveskin, but we need 1,000 people working in restoration, working in Turkey. So maybe don't have so high dreams. It's difficult to reach sometimes, but maybe step by step, trying to make a better, more comfortable cities, more comfortable environment. Then, of course, if we make everything good, we can reach bigger targets.
Thanks for your interviewing. Thanks again.
Thank you.